Hello students, we will continue with the second part of the problem that we were discussing in time cost trade-off. So we have done the stage 2, we were discussing the stage 2 where we have crashed 30-40 by 3 days, okay. So the extra cost incurred for this crashing 30-40 by 3 days works out to be 2500 rupees, and the direct cost for 14 minus 3 days of crashing, which is 11 days of project completion, is direct cost for 14 days, which is 14,950, plus extra cost of crashing by 3 days, which is 2500 rupees. It is 17,450 rupees. So this is the outcome of stage 2. Okay. So let us go and update the network for stage 3. So updating network for 11 days. This is the status. Okay. So we have seen that 1020 has been fully crashed in stage 1. In the second stage also 3040 has been completely crashed. From 5 days it has come to 2 days now, and we have 2030 already, which is critical, and then 2040 has now become critical because 2040 has exhausted all its total float of 3 days in stage 2. Okay, but still 1030 has got a total float of 2 days remaining. So 1030 remains as non-critical, whereas 2030 and 2040 are critical. So one important point that we have to keep in mind is when you encounter parallel critical paths, you have to retain them as critical till the end of the crashing process. I'll repeat, when you encounter parallel critical paths, you have to retain them as critical till the end of the crashing process. Now we are encountering such a situation. Okay, so basically 3 paths are there in the network, which I have listed here. As you can see, the first path is 10, 20 and 40. 10, 20, 40 is the first path, of which 10, 20 has been completely exhausted. The second path is 10, 20, 30, 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. In that, 10, 20 activity and 30, 40 activity has been exhausted, which I am showing by scoring off like this, by the black lines. Okay. And the third path is 10, 30, 40. Okay, which is non-critical. 1030 is actually non-critical, and 3040 has been exhausted. So 3 paths are there, of which this first and second path are critical. In these 2 critical paths, 2040 and 2030 are critical, and then you have to go for combinations now. So you have to crash uh, each of these paths, each of these activities by the same amount so that they remain as critical till the end of the crashing process. Okay, so as you can see from this diagram, 2040 has got 2 days of crashing, 2030 also has got 2 days of crashing. So parallelly, if you see this non-critical activity has also got 2 days of total float. Okay, so therefore I can crash 2040 and 2030 by 2 days. Why am I crashing these 2 activities parallelly? Because 2 critical paths have come. In the 2 critical paths, 2040 and 2030 are only critical now. So I have to crash these 2 simultaneously, and 2 days of crashing is possible along these 2, and these 2 days of crashing can be done along these 2 activities because at one stroke itself, because this 1030 path 1030 activity has got a total float of 2 days. So what I'll do in this stage 3 is, first I'm updating for 11 days, and I've seen that now 3040 has become completely exhausted and 2040 has become critical. Okay, so combination of activities I'm looking at in these 2 critical paths, and I along first and second path, which are critical, only 2040 and 2030. These 2 are the critical paths. Only 2040 and 2030 are available for crashing by 2 days, since 1030 along the third path has got a total float of 2 days. Okay, so therefore I'll go for the process of crashing 2040 and 2030 each by 2 days, each by 2 days. Okay, so hence crashing 2040 and 2030 each by 2 days. Therefore, extra cost is going to be extra cost of crashing 2040 by 2 days plus extra cost of crashing 2030 by 2 days. So that is what is combined cost slope. I'm just adding multiplied by 2 days of crashing. So cost slope of 2040 plus cost slope of 2030 multiplied by 2 days of crashing. So cost slope of 2040 if I see from the original table, which we have calculated, 2040 it is 400. For cost slope of 2030 it is 1300. So those two data I have to incorporate here. It is 400 plus 1300 multiplied by 2 days. It comes out to be 3400 rupees. So what have I done now? From 11 days I've crashed the project to 9 days by crashing it by 2 days. Okay. So direct cost for 11 minus 2, 9 days of crashing, 9 days of project completion is going to be direct cost for 11 days plus extra cost incurred by this 2 days of crashing. So which works out to be direct cost for 9 days is 20,850 rupees. Okay. Now we'll go to stage 4. Okay. In the stage 4, I have to update the diagram. So unless I update, I will not be able to see what will be the next stage. What is the information for the next stage. So I'll update the diagram. Now it is project duration is 9 days. 1020 is completely exhausted already. Now 2030 and 3040 already is exhausted, and 2040 is also exhausted. So these two parts, in these two parts, all the activities are exhausted. Now 1030 has become critical in this process. So I'll just put all the three parts now. So you see 10, 20, 30 is the first path. In that 10, 20 and 20, 40, sorry 10, 20, 40 it is. 10, 20 and 20, 40 are completely exhausted. Second path, it is 10, 20, 30, 40. All the three activities are completely exhausted. And in the third path, we have 10, 30 and 30, 40. 30, 40 is exhausted and 10, 30 has become critical in this stage. But I cannot crash, even though 3 days of crashing is possible for this activity. I cannot crash this activity 1030 because if I crash this, these two parallel activities which are parallel paths which are critical will not have any further crashing possibility. So as I said, when a critical path is having parallel critical activities, if I have to retain them as critical till the end of the crashing process. I'll repeat, when you crash a particular activity, you may encounter parallel non-critical activities becoming critical in that process, or non-critical paths becoming critical in that process. I have to, in such a situation, I have to crash, or I have to retain them, all the critical activities as critical till the end of the crashing process. Okay. So if 1030 alone is crashed, because possibility of crashing is there only in 1030, if I crash this alone, what will happen? These two parallel paths I will not be disturbing, or I will not be crashing, because there is no further crashing possibility. So even 1030, even though 1030 has got 3 days of crashing possibility, I cannot go for crashing 1030, and because of the reason that the parallel paths have exhausted their crashing process, and therefore I have to stop with the crashing process. Okay. So that is what I have written here. Now from the three paths, all the three paths are critical. Also, first and second paths, there are no activities with a crashing possibility. That is what I have scored up top here and shown. Even though 1030 has 3 days of crashing possibility, we have to stop the crashing process since all the other paths don't have crashing possibility. All the paths will have to be retained critical once they become critical. Hence, stop with the crashing process. So crashing stops at this stage, and at the stage of final stage of crashing, we find that the project duration is 9 days now. Originally, it was 16 days. It has now come to 9 days. Okay. So now we have to find out what is the total cost for the project. Okay. So we have completely gone with the crashing process and identified what are all the direct cost values corresponding to each stage of crashing. And now we will incorporate the indirect cost, which is a fixed amount per day, and it is given in the problem as rupees 760 per day, and calculate what is the total cost, which is just the sum of direct and indirect cost. So we'll start with 16 days, which was originally the duration that we got it from the CPM analysis. And for that, the direct cost is 13,450, and for indirect cost corresponding to 16 days, it is 760 into 16, which comes out to be 12,160. And then for 14 days, the direct cost is 14,950, which is the calculation that we got from stage 1. Then this is stage 2 and this is stage 3. So we are just taking these data from the stages of crashing that we have done earlier. And indirect cost, just multiply the number of the rate per day into number of days, okay, to get the values. Okay, so then we get the total cost by adding the direct and indirect cost values. So we find that from the total cost row, the total cost corresponding to 14 days of completion of the project is the lowest value. Okay, so for 14 days of completion, it comes out to be 25,590, which is the lowest. So what does this tell us? If you complete the project in 16 days, which we get from the CPM analysis, we will be incurring an additional cost. Okay, an increase in cost. If you go for the crashing process, we will know what is the best time corresponding to minimum total cost. Okay, so this is the optimum time of completion of the project, which is going to give us the minimum total cost of completion. Okay, so from the table, the optimum time is 14 days and the corresponding minimum total cost comes out to be 25,590. And the same calculations what we have done, I have just shown it in the form of a graph here. So you can see here, this is the time versus cost graph. So time from 0 to 16 days I've plotted, and cost from 0 to 28,000. Okay, so depending on what is the maximum value I'm getting, so 27,000 something is the direct cost. So up to 28,000 I've taken, and I've plotted the direct cost. This is our direct cost value. This is the indirect cost value. If I add these two, I will get the total cost value. So this is the total cost curve. Okay, and this point is the optimum point, optimum duration point, which corresponds to 14 days of completion, and the minimum total cost comes out to be 25,590. Okay, so this graph, you can show it on a square graph sheet, normal graph sheet. It will give a better representation. So at the end of the problem, you have to also show the data into a graph like this, where we can show the direct cost. This is our direct cost, which has a inversely proportional trend with respect to time. This is our indirect cost, which is having a directly proportional trend with respect to time. If I add these two datas, I will get the total cost. Why it is on top? Because it is an added value. I'll get a larger value. Okay, so this is the total cost, and this is the optimum point. The lowest point is our optimum duration, and the minimum total cost point. Okay, so hope you are able to understand this, students. We will stop the problem now. Any queries, you can post it onto the Canvas. Thank you so much.